The auction hall was crowded, but the little girl felt invisible. She clutched her ragged doll tightly, tears streaming down her cheeks as strangers walked past, whispering and pointing. "No one wants to adopt me," she whispered to herself, her voice barely audible over the murmurs. Every laugh from the bidders felt like a reminder of her loneliness, every gaze a confirmation that she didn't belong anywhere. The world had already decided she was unworthy, and at 7, she felt every ounce of that judgment. Outside the hall, the wind carried the scent of hay and leather from the nearby ranch. That's where he stood, Colton Hayes, a wealthy cowboy known for his land and generosity. He had come to the auction to support a friend, but something pulled him inside the hall, an inexplicable tug in his chest that led him to the crying little girl. Their eyes met across the crowded room, and time seemed to slow. Her fear, her sorrow, and her quiet despair hit him like a wave. Without thinking, he raised his hand and signaled to the auctioneer. "I'll take her," he said, his voice steady, carrying the weight of someone used to commanding attention, but now softened by care. The room fell silent. The little girl froze, staring at him. She didn't understand at first, didn't dare hope. Slowly, he walked toward her, his boots thudding softly on the wooden floor. He knelt to her level and extended his hand. "Hi, I'm Colton. Would you like to come live on my ranch?" His voice was gentle, patient, and full of an unspoken promise. The girl hesitated, fear and hope wrestling inside her. Then, trembling, she took his hand. In that instant, her world shifted, a hand to hold, a safe place to call home, a chance to believe again. Days at the ranch were not easy. The little girl, now named Lily, had never seen open fields like these or animals that were as large as they were gentle. She was cautious, unsure if this new world would also turn its back on her. Colton gave her space but never let her wander too far. He taught her how to ride, how to care for the animals, and slowly, Lily began to trust, not just him, but the world again. Nights were spent under a starlit sky, the soft sound of the horses in the stable a lullaby she never had as a child. For the first time, she felt safe. But trust is fragile, especially for a child whose heart has been broken. One morning, a letter arrived at the ranch claiming that someone had come forward claiming Lily was theirs. She panicked, the thought of losing this safe place igniting old fears. Colton saw her withdrawal and simply held her. "I promise," he whispered, "nobody will ever hurt you again. You are safe here, you are mine to protect." The words were simple, yet they anchored her trembling heart. Slowly, her small hands unclenched from her lap, reaching for his. Months passed. Lily began to laugh, really laugh, for the first time in years. Colton watched her run across the fields, her curls bouncing in the sun, her eyes sparkling with newfound freedom. The ranch became their sanctuary, a place where love was patient and steady. She began to sleep without nightmares, eat without fear, and speak without hesitation. Every small victory, every gentle smile, felt like a celebration of the bond forming between them, a bond neither expected but both desperately needed. One evening, under a sky painted with sunset hues, Lily climbed onto Colton's horse beside him. She laughed as the wind whipped her hair around, feeling the warmth of someone who would never abandon her. Colton looked down at her, his eyes softening. "Do you know," he said gently, "how long I've been waiting for someone like you to trust me?" She shook her head, her small hand gripping his. "I've been waiting too," she whispered. In that quiet moment, they both understood, love is not about possession, but protection, patience, and showing up when no one else does. By the 6th day of her new life fully settled at the ranch, Lily finally spoke the words she had held back for so long. "Thank you, for not giving up on me." Colton pulled her into a warm embrace, his heart swelling with a promise. "You will never be alone again," he said. "Not now, not ever." And for the first time, the little girl who once thought no one wanted her, smiled freely, knowing she had found her home, her protector, and a love strong enough to heal every scar. Her life, once shadowed by rejection and sorrow, had been transformed. The cowboy had not only saved her body but had mended her heart, teaching her that even the smallest soul could be cherished, loved, and finally, safe.